Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Let me say hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me on an extremely special, earth-shattering, groundbreaking, history-making edition of Un Poco Moss, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Guys, I want to talk SoFi Technologies Incorporated. Ticker symbol is SOFI. You guys know I love this stock. It's actually one of my largest holdings. Let's see. Hold on one sec, guys. I forgot what the hell I'm doing here. Let's see. Sorry, I don't have my production staff. I keep forgetting to text poor not a lurker. There he is. Oh my god, thank God. Thank God J Money's here. I was like, I just after I finished the other one, I was like, I gotta text not a lurker. I forgot again. I get so like flummoxed when I'm trying to put these things together. I get shit for brains. Back in school, they called me old shit for brains. That was my nickname. Unbelievable. What a coincidence. Anyway, welcome and hello to the great not a lurker, the great J Money has joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. Best wrench in the business. Last show, when you weren't here, I was wearing my not a lurker hat. This show, when you are here, I'm not wearing my not a lurker hat. So go figure. You know? Why wearing life's funny then? This is one thing, then it's another. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Anyway, guys, it's going to be an extremely short video because I do not have a lot of time. I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my mind. Oh, that ship has sailed. But SoFi Technologies Incorporated, why does it keep going? Why do I think it's about to break down 20? In fact, I think it's going to all-time highs this year. I was just telling you the other day, I think this particular run, it's going to break down, 24 something, going, could touch $25, whatever it is. Now I think the momentum is there. The multiples are too low. The technology's there. All the criticism of just the bank. You're seeing tech money come in from the loan platform. You're seeing crypto come back in. And guys, all the while, we haven't seen low interest rates. This business model has never been able to work at scale. It's just hitting scale. And, I'm going to talk about, the technical analysis because I am the Shartmaster. It's my own form of technical analysis. It's basically, gibberish and crayons if you're, one of these official people. But anyway, guys, so why do I think the stock's going to all-time highs? I'll give you a bunch of reasons. Rallies don't end on strong volume. 80 million shares traded today, stock up 3%, going up more after hours, and this is on a red day. All kinds of good news. You have to do the foundational work first. The foundational work was the tech stack, Galileo integrating Technesis, the whole thing. And then also the bank charter. So, people are like, it's so boring. They're a bank. The bank charter not just allows them to do banking to you, it gives them lower costs of capital for everything they do. It's all lending. The credit card is lending. The margin is lending. The brokerage it's all lending at the end of the day. And if you have a 2% lower cost of capital, that is a durable competitive advantage. And as the landscape is right now, you can't go back and become a bank later, but you can become a bank when you start and go back and add in crypto later. Ipso facto, Anthony Noto did things in the right order, and he does know more. He does. Does he look like a man that does not know what needs to be done? Moreover, does he look like a man that knows what needs to be done and doesn't go out and do it? Freaking All-American linebacker, head of his class in engineering, United States Military Academy, forget about it. Best management anywhere. Look at the growth. It's incredibly steady. They don't get paid. Down years, bad years, recession, they continue to grow. And it's not slow growth. It's not bank growth. It's fast growth. The financial service growth is rapid. And we all wish the tech sector would be doing better, the tech side. But just because they're not getting a ton of revenues and clients doesn't mean they're not doing anything. You plant the seed and it grows. That foundational work pays off in the long run if you're a long-term investor. I don't care if KBW comes out and rates the stock 9 today and 875 tomorrow and 850 the next day. Find some guy with a giant 5 head coming out showing a drive-in movie on that thing, talking about, defaults that never materialized, talking about Sasquatches and unicorns and the one that got away. So why else is this going to all-time highs, guys? Institutional insider ownership. Institutional ownership going down slightly, sitting at about 50%. But interestingly enough, look at this institutional put call. This is turning more and more bullish. You see, basically the puts have been flat, calls going up and up and up. What's going on, guys? All right, guys. So put call rate options bullish. That's at least turning more and more and more bullish. Okay. Who are my favorite two institutional traders, market makers, market gods, those who move the market? BlackRock and Vanguard. What do you see? Jane Street, one of the smartest shorts out there. The call, 22 million shares. The put, 7 million shares. Okay, BlackRock increasing last filing. Vanguard looks like they're increasing most. These guys don't lose. JP Morgan Chase, big increase in their last filing. I mean, look at JP Morgan Chase, 476% increase. Jane Street owns long shares too. Nuveen increasing. Marshall Wace with a 4,000% increase. Okay, why else is it going up? Still much too much shorting. Naked shorting. Short interest 150, shares on loan only 102. Doesn't make sense. Borrowing rate still damn near zero. That can change. They're still shorting the stock, flippantly, just like they were doing at 7. Now, these guys just never covered. Okay, institutional ownership, 50%. Insider ownership, 17%. Added up, 67%. 2/3 combined ownership. Retail ownership is not that high. Another reason. Okay, this is really what I wanted to go for, is this chart. It broke out of this channel, and then this steep line, this trend line, fell below that, and then it's regained it, and it's consolidating above that trend line. You see it there. And going back, I mean, if you take a look at, this point right here where it is, this is a critical point. This is this little shoulder here. This is the last place it consolidated here before this little fall. After this little shoulder, I don't really see anything else on this chart till, 2250 area where we're going to see any more resistance. The multiples here are just too low for the growth. They're too low for the eventual margins. They're too low for how incredibly amazing this management team has been, staring death in the face and coming out smelling like roses and looking like heroes. Am I a hero? I can't answer that. You can't say if you're a hero. I can tell you this with 100% certainty. Anthony Noto is a hero. He's my hero. He is the reason this is one of my largest positions. This might be my second largest position behind Microsoft. I'm not sure. I got to add up a bunch of different stuff, but I love this stock. I just love this stock. So for me, the chart is incredibly bullish. The fundamentals couldn't be more bullish. I mean, when people were looking at, they said in the last video, I think it was Oprah, September rate cut. I mean, this stock has never been able to operate the wheel strategy at scale, adding members, cross-selling with reasonably low interest rates, it all coming together. They say, the Trump policies on student loans are going to be very favorable to private lenders. They're letting them put crypto back in. That's, one of the big things why, a company like Hood gets so much, such high multiples in comparison to SoFi. I mean, I know SoFi's multiples are high right now, but that's another thing, is where we are fundamentally. SoFi has done all that costly integration. It's all now done. They've integrated everything under their own tech stack. Now you're reaching a scale where the marginal revenues are mostly all gravy going to the bottom line. That's why management was so comfortable making those very lofty EPS projections about 2025 and then 2026 and 2027, because they know the long, hard slog is over. And now is the time to fill our pimp chalice with champagne and celebrate. Oh, I don't know. Listen to Oprah's Big Wet Cave. Yeah, man. Oprah's Big Wet Cave. You're welcome. Talk to Not a Lurker. We'll get you on. I think Noto sold Kathy. She jumped in. I mean, honestly, Kathy Wood and Anthony Noto, I guess, have been friends and colleagues, for a long, like decades. Like, I think their relationship goes back like 30 years. They might have worked together at some, institutional investment house, Bernstein, or I forget. But I think she was working one place. But they know each other. They respect each other. And I think they're friends to a certain degree. Honest to God, it was really, I think, Anthony Noto's very, very best interview. He just did like an hour, I think it was, with Kitty Woods. And she was asking the right questions. She really got it. She really now, I know some of her projections on Tesla and stuff are bordering on the insane. But honestly, I don't think there's really any resistance. I think there's only open country air on top of this stock. And you're telling me this stock is worth more, 5 years ago than it is today? Based on this performance, I mean, this is basically a flock of seagulls pattern. It tried to break out here already, in January. This is the double tap. This is the famous Mafia 222s, the back of the head. This is where we break through, we break out, we leave this 2260 shoulder in our rear view, and we break through, and we go moonshot, guys. We go moonshot. Yeah, let's Not a Lurker. I got to run right now, guys. I got obligations. I got stuff to do. And it really wasn't. I'm just telling you. Look at people like, oh, this thing's out of gas. This thing's not out of gas. Volume has been increasing. Very, very bullish. If you look at kind of where the stock is playing with this trend line, just regaining it, touching it, closing above it here. Closing above it, I would say the last 3 days, 4 out of the last 5 days. This is looking very, very bullish. This could make a huge move up. Institutions know it. Lenders want to buy their debt. The defaults were even lower than management thought they were going to be. And all these crazy five-headed analysts, bird-like analysts, mafioso analysts were just completely out to lunch. They were wrong. Noto was right. Chris LaPointe was right. Danny Deals was right. Not a Lurker was right. Oprah's Wet Cave was right. A bit musty, but right. Oh, guys, this show's terrible. What's up, Leo Longe? Yeah, we're going to get rid of those pesky shorts on the way up, and they're going to push the price higher to all-time highs. That's my theory. Yeah, Carl, I'm going to be wearing one of those neck braces where when I re-end. I'm involved in some intentional rear end scams on my free time, little insurance scams just to make ends meet, guys. This show's not paying the bills. Anyway, guys, I apologize. Sorry this show was so short and so crappy and so pointless, but after all, it's un poco mas. You get what you get, and that's usually a huge, steaming turd, as the great to paraphrase the great Phil Donahue. The late great Phil Donahue. Anyway, is Donahue dead? I don't know. I never know who's dead. If he is, rest in peace. If he's not, my apologies. Thanks, guys. Peace. I'm out.